Pure titans are predictable. They walk a certain way, and they eat whoever is right in front of them. But abnormals, they shatter every rule in the Attack on Titan universe. They don't need a freaky face to be an anomaly. Their unpredictable behavior, speed, and intelligence make them the ultimate threat. Today, we break down the absolute craziest abnormal titans in history. We start with the anomaly that instantly shattered humanity's hope, the Jumping Titan. Before it appeared, the 104th Cadet Corps were actually hyped for battle. But in a fraction of a second, this abnormal leaped through the air like a madman, swallowing Thomas whole. It turned nervous excitement into completely traumatized silence in an instant. But jumping isn't the only speed advantage. In Trost, an abnormal completely ignored the nearest soldiers and wildly sprinted straight towards a massive crowd of civilians. This terrifying display of speed was the exact moment that forced Mikasa to get her very first on-screen Titan kill. During the 57th expedition, Sasha was inches away from death thanks to another freak of nature. This abnormal ambushed them from the ground, using a uniquely terrifying method of maneuvering on all fours like a giant insect, completely changing the dynamic of the forest combat. Some abnormals don't rely on speed at all. They rely on terrifying patience. While normal titans mindlessly scratch at trees to reach their prey, this abnormal simply laid down on the grass and casually observed the titan shifters above it. It knew it couldn't climb, so it just waited for them to make a mistake. And if we look at the official No Regrets spin-off manga, Levi's squad faced a 20-meter nightmare known as the Twisting Titan. Most titans just let scouts latch onto their napes, but this abnormal had the intelligence to violently shake and twist its entire body to throw soldiers off balance. It took a perfectly coordinated attack from Levi, Furlan, and Isabel just to bring it down. If you want to talk about engineering nightmares, look no further than Zeke Yeager. When soldiers drank his spinal fluid, Zeke didn't just make regular titans. He specifically engineered abnormals for the forest environment. Regular pure titans struggle or flat out can't climb trees. But these freaks, they could easily climb and swing between them at ridiculous speeds. Actually, every single titan Zeke creates is technically an abnormal, because they can all function at night using moonlight. But during the attack on Utgard Castle, two of his creations did something completely unexplainable. They just randomly started fighting each other to the death without being given any instructions. Why? A heartbreaking theory suggests these two were actually young siblings from Ragako village. Their brutal brawl was just a twisted, giant-scale version of kids' play fighting. And of course, we can't forget the rest of Zeke's freak show. Included in his twisted lineup are especially weird abnormals like the posing titan, the gymnast titan, and the butt-ugly abnormal that had its head partially exploded by the beast titan himself. Stepping away from the main timeline, the official No Regrets OVA introduced a four-legged abnormal with glowing red eyes. This wasn't just for dramatic effect. Using a blinding rainstorm as cover, it crawled unpredictably and slaughtered Levi's entire squad. Levi eventually tore it apart in a fit of unhinged rage. And yes, this is 100% canon. During a flashback in Season 3, you can actually see the evaporating skeleton of this exact abnormal in the background right after Levi killed it. If we go back 50 years to the Before the Fall prequel, we meet a 10-meter anomaly nicknamed Ogre. This guy was arguably the most muscular, intelligent, and sadistic pure titan ever. He didn't just eat people. He ripped a soldier's head off and actually threw it completely over Wall Maria. Ogre flattened soldiers just for fun, selectively ignored easy prey, and worst of all, he could sprint and jump perfectly in the dead of night. In fact, many titans in this prequel moved in complete darkness. We saw an abnormal picking up and throwing other titans, the beaded titan with majestic facial hair, and a terrifying stealthy titan that crawled on all fours so silently it completely avoided detection. But the most important abnormal in history is Mammon. 70 years before the main series, a cult opened the gates, allowing this 10-meter demon into Shiganshina. Back then, ODM gear didn't exist, and nobody knew how to kill a Titan. Mammon slaughtered over 5,000 people. He was only stopped when a soldier named Sorin intentionally got caught, stabbed its nape, and bit down on an explosive. That suicidal attack was the first time a Paradis soldier ever killed a Titan, and without the knowledge gained from it, the Survey Corps would have been permanently disbanded. Not all abnormals are fast or deadly. Some are just psychologically broken. In Season 3, we saw an abnormal that crawled for an unknown number of years, trying to reach the wall, until it simply gave up and went dead behind the eyes. It became an empty shell, completely ignoring humans when approached. Then we have Connie's mother. Her unique design featured an exposed ribcage and skinny limbs, meaning she was unable to move and left completely paralyzed on top of her own house. But the creepiest part? She retained some human consciousness, famously managing to welcome her son home in a chilling voice. Technically speaking, Dina Fritz's smiling Titan is also an abnormal. Why? Because she walked right past Bertolt without even trying to kill him. When the colossal Titan broke the wall, she ignored an easy meal right in front of her to fulfill a subconscious promise, heading directly towards Eren's mother. But the ultimate fight against Titan instincts belongs to the anomaly from Ilsa's notebook. Mistaking Ilsa for Lady Ymir, this Titan actually spoke and bowed down in respect. It fought its urge to eat her so hard that it literally tore its own skin away. After tragically losing control, it didn't even finish the body. It buried it inside a tree as a final act of respect. Following the fight between Annie and Eren, humanity discovered the ultimate hidden anomalies, the Wall Titans. If a pure Titan is the size of a freaking colossal, it automatically meets the abnormal criteria. But comfortably, the largest pure Titan to ever exist is Rod Rice. Because he licked the serum off the floor instead of injecting it, he mutated into a 120-meter nightmare. His skinny legs couldn't support his massive torso, forcing him to crawl. As he dragged his body, the friction completely ripped his face off and caused his organs to spill out. Completely ignoring nearby humans, he crawled for hours toward the highly populated Orvud district. Emitting extreme heat that caught trees on fire, this anomaly was the ultimate final boss of pure Titans.